Finally, let's learn about this exciting button called Create New Action. So basically, you can make a request to any endpoint. It may be your custom backend. It may be another large language model. It may be a weather API. It may be a webhook created using Zapier or Make, right? So you can send some data to, to somewhere outside of um, OpenAI. Depending on the data you send, you get a request back, and the LLM then uses that data to craft a very custom response for you. Let's see that in action, then it will make a little bit more sense. So this is a dummy backend. So here, friends, if you want to list all users, you basically make a request to re/API/users, and you see that you get around 6 users information back. And if you want to get information about a particular user, right? So for example, if I want information about Janet, then I need to make a request to that ID. So for a single user, you can see that I need to make a request to that particular ID. Nice. Now let's see how can we prompt our custom GPT in a way that if information is asked about any of these people, a request will be made, their information will be extracted and given back to us. The first thing that we need here is action, right? To be able to make request and get data. So I'll hit create new action. And here you can see that we have an action GPT created because it requires a schema, and it's very easy. Custom GPT is of great help in creating such schemas. I'm telling custom GPT, this action GPT, that I need to make get request to this particular URL to get list of all users. And I need to make a get request to this particular URL to get data specific to a particular user, and it will give me back the entire schema that I need for this. You can see that it's creating the schema for us. Now I'll copy the code, I'll copy the schema and simply paste it here. And I'll see that now I have two actions available. One action is get users and another is get user by ID. Lovely. I can also test them. If I hit get users, then if I allow it, you will see that a request is made and I'm getting the details of the user back. Wow. Wow. Super powerful, right? Similarly, I have ability to get details of one particular user by its ID. So this part is done. It requires a privacy policy, by the way. So what I'll do is I will maybe, again, we should have a proper privacy policy here. I'll give it the general privacy policy statement of GitHub for now. Also, if it requires authentication, for example, if you want to access Open Weather API, right? Open Weather Map or something like that, and it requires tokens and all of that, you have an option to do that. In the settings, you can use API key as authentication, and you can do all of that. So now that I have added actions, right? Now all I need to do is I need to write the prompt. I'll write a very, very simple prompt. If the user requests a list of users, then use the get user action. So I'm prompting GPT that um, for a certain type of request from the user, perform this action. If they inquire about a specific user, um, perform this action. And to obtain user ID, you may first need list of user and all of that, right? And also I'm asking it to avoid making any assumptions. Only provide the information you have. If the information is unavailable, inform the user accordingly. So a very, very simple prompt, right? I'll give it a name. For example, something like user information from REQ/RES, a demonstration of actions in custom GPT. So now I'll just create it. I will, anyone with the link should be able to invoke it. I'll update. I'll view the GPT. And now let's make some request. Give me a list of all users. Depending on my prompt, um, the LLM now knows, which API to hit because I asked for a list of users. It's giving me a list of users. And let's see. Give me more information about. I don't even need to write full name, Emma. for example. And now it will make a request. Now it's going to be a different request, and it will give me all the information about Emma. So friends, a lot of thing happened here. It's just wonderful. So it identified that there is a way to get all the users. When I asked about Emma, it's not even the full name. It identified that her ID is 3, and it gave me detail. It made another fetch request and gave me the detail of Emma. This is how powerful it is. Just just imagine the possibilities. So you are making a request, for example, in your custom GPT, and you've trained your custom GPT to hit a particular endpoint, a particular webhook that you created using make.com. Depending on the data that you send, it accesses your database, it extracts information, all the relevant information, gives back to the GPT, and then GPT uses that information to do further processing. How much of work can be done? It's just unimaginable.